Hi, I'm Clyde Kilough, and this is Verse by Verse. A few years ago, I heard this little parable. A man walking in the desert heard a voice say to him, "Pick up some pebbles, put them in your pocket, and tomorrow you will be both sorry and glad." The man obeyed. He stooped down, gathered a handful of pebbles, and put them in his pocket. The next morning, he reached into his pocket and found, instead of pebbles, diamonds, rubies, and emeralds. And immediately he was both sorrowful and glad. Glad that he had taken some, sorry he hadn't taken more. In this little fictional story are some parallels to something very real. As we walk through the desert of life, a real voice is calling out, telling us to pick up something that is right in front of us, something that we can never get enough of, but whatever amount we pick up will benefit us greatly. The voice says, and I quote, "She is more precious than rubies, and all the things you may desire cannot compare with her. Length of days is in her right hand, and in her left hand riches and honor. Her ways are ways of pleasantness, and all her paths are peace. She is a tree of life to those who take hold of her, and happy are all who retain her." The voice says, "She will preserve you. She will promote you. She will bring you honor when you embrace her." These words come straight out of the Bible's book of Proverbs, which, if it were published today, would probably be titled something like "The Smartest Things Ever Said." So, who is she? Well, she is identified in today's verse, Proverbs 3, verse 13. "Happy is the man who finds wisdom, and the man who gains understanding." She is wisdom. Let me ask you 3 questions. Who is the wisest person you know? What is the wisest advice anyone ever gave you? And would you complete this sentence? I would be much wiser if I... What? Those questions require considerable thought, don't they? But how often do we think about the quality of wisdom? When is the last time you heard someone talk about wisdom? Here's another question. Observing the world today, how wise are its leaders and its citizens? Not how smart, because intelligence is not the same thing as wisdom, but how wise are we? Human history is a story of people with brilliant intelligence who could never seem to learn life's lessons, insisting on repeating time and again some of the most foolish mistakes humans have ever made. It's the same mistake God said of ancient Babylon in Isaiah 47. "You have trusted in your wickedness, your wisdom, and your knowledge have warped you. Therefore evil shall come upon you, you shall not know from where it arises, and trouble shall fall upon you, and you will not be able to put it off." We are living in a rapidly changing world which, in its human wisdom, is destroying God's values and turning society into a spiritual wasteland. And then we wring our hands and ask, why in the world is all this chaos? Yes, priceless jewels of God's knowledge and understanding are there, right in front of us, in abundance. But how many go to the source of wisdom God has preserved for us, His Word, on a quest for wisdom to live by? Will you heed the voice of wisdom, God's voice, and fill your pockets?
Verse by Verse is a Life, Hope, and Truth podcast. Check out the show notes to find more free content, like videos, articles, and booklets in our Learning Center.